Okay, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. Today, whoa, what's happening? A Nixon on this channel? What? First an Invicta, now a Nixon. What is next? Oh, also, don't forget I reviewed a Squale. But yes, guys, I am reviewing a Nixon, but I will say this is a very special Nixon, and it's not the Nixon you think it is. And if you know what it is, then you're probably pretty excited to finally see a review of this thing, guys. So a little bit about the brand. Nixon was founded just recently, back in 1998. So not a huge long line of lineage, but they've accomplished a whole lot, and they are very local to me out of Encinitas, California, here in Southern California, just San Diego County, North County, if you will. Now, basically, they've grown, guys. They're now sold in over 90 countries, which is nuts for a little SoCal brand. I think that's really cool. This type of watch, of course, is a digital watch. Some key common characteristics and design, which when you're looking at a digital watch, it's of course non-analog. It has a digital readout of the timing information. Now, this particular watch is the Nixon Mark 1. It is not the Regulus, which some of you might be thinking, oh, it looks like the Regulus. Well, it's actually not. This was developed over the course of several years through input from various military units, including special operations. The result was basically this minimalistic, high-function digital watch that can stand up to the harshest maritime and land environments. Now, of course, as a prior active duty Marine of close to 10 years, I have to say I've had my fair share of kind of tactical watches, military-inspired stuff, and watches that just work well in various missions. Now, the nice thing about this, this is actually Nixon's TAA, or Trade Agreement Act, compliant version of their very popular Regulus. So this is a variation of the Regulus, but it's basically the TAA compliant one. The TAA basically mandates that the U.S. government can only either purchase made in the USA items or items that are made from a list of designated countries that meet specific criteria. Now, this particular model is actually only available to the U.S. military and law enforcement agencies. So if you're a federal worker or something like that, you can get one of these bad boys. If not, then you can't. So for the veterans out there, I actually purchased this through GovX, which is a website that offers tons of different military pricing and military specialized gear. And it was a pretty nice deal. It's these actually retail for $200, and on GovX they were going for $159.99, which is pretty nice. So with all that said, let's actually pick this piece up and get it in hand for a closer look. All right, guys, as you can see, blacked out everything. Nice little backlight there, which helps with legibility. Obviously, in my kind of studio here that I'm shooting on it's tough. The lighting actually works out really well for regular watch dials, but for digital watch dials, it actually makes it pretty hard to see them there. Let's keep it at an angle there. But this is actually much more legible out in regular natural light, where you're not basically in a dark room with two very bright, light sources on one side or the other, and then basically a very dark ceiling on top, offering really no reflection. So I'll keep it there at an angle, and that's basically about how legible you're going to notice this to be when it comes to actual wear. And this thing wears pretty nicely, even though it's 46 millimeters, but that is including the pushers. So it's actually a bit smaller if you were to measure it basically from here to here. It's only 46 from here to the most extreme. So take that how you will. Obviously, with the square case, it's going to wear larger anyway. But that's one thing I thought I'd mention. It does have a 16 millimeter height and a 52 millimeter lug to lug. So this is a beefcake, guys. Some little details about it. It has ultra high strength plastic bezel for durability, impact resistant pour-on foam between the module and the case back, and then shock absorbing polyurethane jacket protects the digital module. The crystal is a hardened flat mineral crystal, which isn't bad, guys, especially especially considering there's a lot of digital watches that just have a piece of plastic there. So not too bad with being the mineral crystal. And, you know, it's not like this is a super expensive watch at about 160 bucks. It has 100 meters of water resistance, but the pushers are actually water resistant, so you can use those while they're wet, which is a nice feature. It has a 5-year battery life. It has quite wide lugs at 24 millimeters, but they are screw-in, which is nice. And then even the buckle hardware is also screw-in. So they do a lot of things. And then like the when you look at the backside of here, they just do some things that are just really well done from a functional standpoint, you know, and I think it has a really clean, kind of bold aesthetic that I've been kind of missing from G-Shocks recently. I feel like so many modern G-Shocks have just been kind of over complex and overdone, and I wanted a new digital watch. And this is kind of what I came to. I do have another digital watch that's probably pretty similar, and that's my Digituna, which I love. I have it actually, again, it's more legible than this, I swear. It's really just the lighting in this space. But one thing I will say, oh man, this thing needs to, do I need to wipe this bad boy off camera? Sorry about that. I do have it on this really cool, actually polyurethane bracelet from Deep Blue. So before you bite my head off in the comments, hey, where'd you get that bracelet? Okay, that's where. All right, Deep Blue. And I love this thing, and it's quite large too, guys. Look at that. So, you know, these big digital watches I have no problem with. You know, these are things that I'll wear if I go out on a hike or something like that. You know, go out to the field, go out camping. These are really great watches for those purposes. And yes, they kind of do need to be big and bold. But honestly, man, this bad boy it's got a lot of features, man, but it's complicated, guys. It's complicated. There's all these pushers and all these functions, and you go through it all. One thing that I really, really can appreciate about this particular watch, though, is that it has a very, very simple layout here, guys. You can see the time, which I have reading in 24-hour scale. You have the day of the week, Saturday, the month, and then the date, which is 7/25, so July 25th. And then you have these two other registers and counters, which are actually stopwatches. So you can actually time off of those separately and independently, start, stop, and it's really easy. You just let it roll, and it's going. You know, then if I want to start this one, I'll just let it go. That's going. If I want to stop, I can stop this one. I can stop this one. If I want to reset it, just hold it. It resets. And then if I want to display something differently, instead of focusing on the time, maybe I want to focus on my timers there. So I'll let this run. Bad boy's going. I can time something else at the same time. They're going. It's that easy, and it's the exact same, you know, as far as how easy, how simple it is to stop and reset or let it keep riding. Maybe I'll reset this one. Don't need it anymore. This bad boy is just going to keep running. And then if I want to, you know, set an alarm or something, let it go. I could just go back to the regular time. I could go back to here, stop it, restart it. It's just super simple. I love that. So that's one of the things that I just hugely appreciate about this watch. It is just infinitely easy to use. It's intuitive. It doesn't have to smash you over the head with all of the different functions. It just does the functions that it has really damn well, which I can't argue with, guys. I really enjoy a really good, sleek, you know, straight to the point, user interface that I think works really well. Now this plastic strap, it's actually a TPU 80 or thermoplastic polyurethane strap. It's not tapering, but it does have this really nice ribbed kind of ventilated pattern on the underside and the screw-in buckle. So this thing wears really well. It's not like super flexible by any means, but it's tough. So it's not as porous as you know, some of the natural rubber straps will be. So it does end up wearing really well. So let's actually, you know, a lot of times I'll cut away, do all that, but you know what? Let's see how this goes, because it has this cool keeper too, one I did want to mention to you. So when you actually put the keeper in, there's a hole for this little logo, and then bam, you can see there, it fits nicely. So actually, let me scoot it over a little bit, get it off center so you can see. Really nice, right? It comes together, it's just stuck there. So it keeps that there, which is nice. Let me give it a quick little wipe. Look at that. The thing wears well, and then if, you know, people are screaming at the screen, yeah, don't wear the watch on your hand, wear it on your wrist. So here we go. My 7 1/4 inch wrist, it wears like a big old digital watch. And if I need to see the time a little bit better, I click and bam, I can see it better. Cool. And if I want to time something, I'll just let it time it. Time over here too. Why not? Okay, so that's it, guys. I mean, there's not much more to say. This thing works. Maybe I'll turn off the lights and give you a quick little loom shot. I guess I could do that. You know, I owe you that much. You stuck through. Maybe I'll just let this continue to run, and then you'll have something a little bit more excited to see loomed up. But so actually, yeah, let's do a quick little in darkness, and then also do some closing thoughts. All right, guys, so we're gonna hit the lights on this. Oh no, it's pitch black. How can I find the button? Cool thing is I can. It's dark, but I can still find it. Will the camera focus? Focus. Boom. Okay, again, we'll try it. Look at that. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty darn cool. Get a little, maybe I'll even get some functions going. Stop some stuff. Start some stuff. Reset some stuff. Cool. All right. I mean, there's not too much I can really go into from there. But again, these pushers, they stick out, they're tactile, you can feel them. Even there, as you guys noticed, I was able to reach everything in the dark. Get it going, reset these bad boys. Still have the time there if I want it, but hey, maybe I want to focus on the time. So bam, there we go. So there you have it, guys. This thing is cool. It is, and collectible to a certain extent, because yeah, you can't just buy these. You can't just go to your local PacSun and buy this watch. You have to, you know, be a law enforcement officer or some type of government, federal worker, or, you know, veteran, prior military, prior service, or active duty. Of course, you can buy one of these too via that route. So, I know this was a weird one, guys. It's just so different than what I normally review. Don't hate me, guys, because I had a Nixon on. Believe it or not, although they are, you know, very local, Nixon wouldn't give me the time of day. All right, they're selling in 90 different countries. They have tons of influencers on surfboards with abs that they can be pushing their products with. They don't need to work anything with me. What I will mention is that the Regulus is a cool looking watch. I think, you know, if it wasn't for this one, I would probably have bought the Regulus already. But the Mark 1 for me is just kind of a fun little special kind of oddity, being as different as it is, and kind of, it has that, you add a little bit more of the desirability because of the scarcity. So you kind of add those all those things, all the cool features that you'll get out of a Regulus, and then you kind of have a secret Regulus, right? It's like the rare version of it. I don't know, there's something cool about that, and I enjoy it, and that's why I got this timepiece. And it's a fun watch that, you know, I wear when I'm really super casual and not trying to impress anybody with whatever timepiece that I have. And the nice thing is, some people like Nixon watches, so maybe they'll be impressed. And then some people, you know, are into military timepieces and that side of it. And I think this also has that cool kind of backstory to it. So, you know, with all that said, guys, feel free to cut my head off in the remarks and comments down below, or say, hey, cool, man, thanks for showing me that, because that is an interesting and different watch, and maybe you share some of the sentiment and just being tired of your typical super huge G-Shock with like Bluetooth and satellites and like all the time zones that you're trying to track, and certain like you getting things to update. You're putting your watch in the windowsill. You don't have to do any of that. You just set the time, and then you use it, and then you run the timers as you would. So I like that. This is a simple watch. It does a simple job, and it's tough, man. This thing is built tough. As you guys know, like the bullet points on the specs were all just things that just show how tough this watch is and how you can just beat it to hell. Take it to the field and back, take it out, out camping and back, take it on a rock climb, whatever, right? If you're living in an active lifestyle and you need something like this just to tell time, just to time certain things, and you don't want to worry about the watch, man, I gotta recommend the Mark 1 or the Regulus, if you can't get a hold of the Mark 1. So again, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hate me or not, I think this is a worthy alternative to your typical G-Shock. Yeah, there's classic G-Shocks out there that I love that are kind of untouchable in a certain way. But is this a good alternative? Yeah, especially if you're like me and you're looking for something simple, straightforward, concise, really just awesome user interface. This could be for you. So let me know that this review wasn't in vain by leaving some crazy comments, whether good or bad. Thanks, guys.